Hello, today we're going to be starting a Jupyter Notebook Server on EC2. This is kind of cool in the sense that you can start a server and basically share it with your friends, or in a work setting, you can just share a server. You don't have to deal with configurations and packages, and it's pretty useful. So the first thing you have to do is SSH into your instance. I already SSH'd into my instance quite a while ago. Essentially, it's just SSH, your PEM file, and then your username, because I did Ubuntu. I had an Ubuntu instance, so my username is Ubuntu, and then your public DNS, okay? And then I installed Anaconda and all that stuff. And installing Anaconda is part 3 of the tutorial, by the way. SSHing is part 2, and part 1 is making your instance, okay? So the next thing you have to do is type IPython into our terminal. We're going to do this because we want to, when we actually launch our server, we want to have a password. So next thing I'm going to do is basically set a password. So set it to whatever you like. Okay, it'll output something, and not that. Okay, so output this. Be sure to save it, at least somewhere you can find it again, because you'll need it for launching the server later. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to exit out of it, out of IPython. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to generate a config file for Jupyter Notebook. So what directory am I in? Okay, I'm in my home directory again. So generate the config file. Next thing I'm going to do is make a directory called certs. I need this for the certificate file to put in, or I need to put the certificate file in here. So I'll go into that directory. This is just a command to generate a PEM file, certificate. Okay. Okay, answer some questions. So for me, I'm in the US. My state is Chicago. I'm in Illinois right now. Organizational name, I guess I'll say Python tutorials. Unit name section, maybe this is like installations or something. And my name is Michael. So actually, let me put my middle name here. Why not? Okay, email address. If you have any questions, send an email if you want. Don't mind. Okay. So next thing to do is we're going to go to this directory. Oops, sorry. Okay. And now we're going to edit the config file. So let's see, the config file is actually there. It is. Now time to edit. Okay. So we're going to add this to the top of our config file. Okay. So I already have something running on an earlier port, so I'm going to change it. And then this password is what we generated earlier. So basically you'll just erase if there's something already there and put in whatever you generated, because chances are your password's going to be different than mine, I hope at least. Okay, so that's good. Okay. And I'll show you how to error check this later. So, okay, that's done. Okay, the next thing we have to do is, well, let's see if this will work. So I'm going to go to my home directory. Okay. Actually, I'm going to launch this from a notebook directory. And the reason why I want to do this is I don't want people, when I launch my server, to have access to my certificate. So I'm going to cd into the notebook, and I'm going to no hub Jupyter Notebook. And it's no hub because when I exit out of this SSH, normally if it's just a Jupyter Notebook, it'll come down. So no hub, you'll get some sort of output like this, which is fine. So I'm just gonna wait for that a little bit. Okay, so I want to SSH back into my instance just to see if this worked. Okay, Ubuntu, and my public DNS for this one, for this instance, is this. Okay, I have a lot of instances running at once. It's kind of bad. Okay, so add this. Cool. Okay. So I went back in here and I want to see my no hub. And this is just a log file. And I want to see that everything's running perfectly. Okay. So it looks like everything worked well. And the only way really to test this is, well, to test it, right? So I have this. I'm going to put in my browser. Okay, and I need an IP address. So this is my public IP address. Let me check. Okay, so this is this instance. Okay, and this IP address. Okay, and please work. Please. Okay, so you'll have a certificate error, but it looks like it worked. Okay, so you enter your password and then you press login. Okay, and then you can start your own notebook. And you can even send it to a friend if you want, you know. It's pretty cool. So if you have questions, please comment below. And I'm sure you will have questions. This is not easy. And the instructions are on my GitHub. And that's it. Have a great day. Please subscribe.